So if you haven't seen our video on how to make the focaccia dough, go back and watch that, and this will get you to the point where your focaccia is ready to go. We're going to make 2 focaccias. We're going to do one which is a top focaccia, and we're going to do another which is going to be a focaccia pizza. You'll notice that the pan for the pizza is twice the size as the pan for the focaccia. That's because when we do the focaccia pizza, we want a thinner crust on it. You'll end up with a crust maybe that high when you do your focaccia. When you do your pizza, you only really want it that high because the sauce to bread ratio or focaccia ratio is better. So to do that, we want to get suitable toppings to go on that. So for this focaccia, what we're going to do is we're going to use some mushrooms, a couple of peppers. I'll probably use half the bell pepper and an onion. And basically I use what's in the fridge. I'll also I have some olives, so we'll use those. And again, it's about just getting these all chopped up, getting them in the bowl. So the important part of this is seasoning as you go. So we'll start with the onion because obviously onions are always the first thing we cut, just because we like to smile and cry at the same time. So take off our outer skin. Then everybody will get the joy of watching me chop onions. Okay, so just try up my bowl beforehand. So, and whatever you like, this is what you put on it. So if you don't like onions, don't put onions on it. If you don't like peppers, you don't like mushrooms, and if you like other things, put those in. And remember, these are toppings. These are going on top of the focaccia. You can also do this stuff where you would put stuff in the focaccia, but that's another video, and there's a couple of steps you want to take when you're doing that. So we'll do this, and again, I like using these guys because from just an aesthetic point of view, the nice colors make everything look nice and colorful, and you know, we eat with our eyes a lot of the time. And with these guys, there's not a lot of seeds in them, and they're sweet peppers, so you're not going to burn yourself with them. And get this guy out. And the reason I like to do this is because I like to see the rings. I think they look better like that than actually in strips. And I'm leaving them like about 1/4 inch because you don't want them too small, because they'll only shrivel up and burn if you actually leave things too small. So there's our peppers, and we'll go to our mushrooms. I always cut the end off them. And you can either do thick chunks, or you can do them into quarters. So I've only got a few in it, so I'm going to just do kind of thicker chunks. If I have a smaller mushroom like that, I would just quarter. So, and again, there's no rules to this. There's no right way or wrong way of doing it. It's basically what you like. And as I'm going through this, I'm probably not going to use my green pepper because I have enough peppers in it. And you know, the container we're going to be putting this into is a half sheet pan. So, you know, you want enough to cover the surface of that, but you don't really want a whole lot more. So I'm going to put a couple of olives in. And these are stuffed with garlic, so that'll be nice. And actually something else that's really good with this is sun-dried tomato. Things that have really strong flavors. And with your sun-dried tomato, what you would do is you just chop it up into little pieces and run it through, or mix it through the mix, and they'll give a nice blast of flavor while you're doing it. That's my mix ready to go. Before we start is we just need to put some oil on our vegetables. And we'll also put a little bit of seasoning on. And again, the seasoning is as you like. I'm going to use our focaccia seasoning for this. If you like, you know, you can go with rosemary and sea salt, or you could just go with whatever seasoning is that you like. You could also put some chili flakes in with that. That gives it a nice little kick. But the important thing is that you have a good coating on all the vegetables, because if you don't, they're going to burn. Okay, so that's ready to go for our focaccia, and this is ready to go for our seasoning. So I need to get the dough. So my focaccia dough has risen. See a nice little wobble on it. You can see all the air bubbles. So what we want to do is we want to get a nice coating on the bottom of our pans. So that's for our focaccia, and this is where you'll see that this is an incredibly versatile focaccia dough. You can do an awful lot with it, and in essence, you know, if you went and did 2 of these pizzas with toppings, you could feed like 20 people. And you know, the ingredients to make a focaccia is probably just over $1. So, you know, it's whatever your toppings would be on that. It could be a very delicious and cost-effective evening. The only time we don't use olive oil is when we do sweeter ones. We'll use butter instead, because obviously butter. What more do I need to say? So we're going to take our focaccia dough out again. And again, this is so easy. No kneading, no handling. So I want to take half of the dough that's here and bring it over here. So you have to have oil on your fingers or it's going to stick everywhere, and I eyeball it. So that's approximately 50-50. I know there's oil on one side. I can now turn around and get the oil on the other side. So that's my focaccia side, and see how easily that fills the space. While when we do this now with the pizza, again, I have to flip it over. It's going to be a much thinner crust. And again, that's because that's what you want with your pizza. You want a nice crunch on it, and you want to spread it out. And just use your knuckles, keep pressing it. As you go out a little bit, it'll contract, and you just have to be a little bit persistent with it. And sometimes when you're doing it, you'll end up with a kind of a more dough in the middle than the edges. You can just press on it to bring it out again. And see, again, I'm filling the base of the pan, but I'm not tearing it. If you can avoid tearing it, it's better. If you do tear it, just pinch it together. It's dough, it's not a spaceship, or a rocket ship as we say here on the Space Coast. So that's good, ready to go. This guy is good and ready to go. So we're going to do it second proof. After it's second proof, then we will put the vegetables on it. And before we put our vegetables on, we'll actually season the focaccia. So we're going to put this aside again and let it proof. We'll do the same with this guy. And after it does its second proof, I'll be able to press it out a little bit more into the corners and fill all the space. So again, what we're going to do is just work this out, dip our fingers in, get those nice indentations, and see the way I'm gently pushing everything forward. So we've covered the entire surface of the bottom of our pan. And then for our regular focaccia, see how nice and soft and spongy that is. And then we've got all those little wells of olive oil. So for our regular focaccia, what we're going to do again, focaccia seasoning, don't have to go crazy on it. Just put a little bit on here. Sometimes I like also to use a little bit of onion granules. Again, this is totally your own preference, but you know, you do like to have a nice flavor on the dough before you put any topping on it, and it really does add to the flavor of it. And then this is all our focaccia topping. So I'm just going to spread all this out. And then I get covered evenly. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of Parmesan. And it's nice, it gives a nice bit of flavor, a little bit of saltiness as well. What also is nice on this, if you like things a little bit saltier, some nice salt flakes work very, very well with it. Okay, so this is ready to go. That will be in the oven for 20 minutes at 450. Now we're ready to go. We can put it aside. So for our pizza, what we're going to do is we will bake this for 12 minutes, take it out, and then we will add our cheese or our topping. But before we put it in the oven, we put on our tomato sauce. So I do a very, very simple sauce for doing the topping of the pizza. It's a 14-ounce can of tomato sauce, 8-ounce can of tomato paste, and I do 2 teaspoons of our focaccia seasoning. If you like it with a little bit of bite, it goes lovely with some chili flakes, but if you do that, you want to heat it up. And look at any marinara sauce, your own, the one you like the most is a good one to use. Sometimes the marinara sauces, when you buy them in the jars, they're not actually thick enough. So a good idea is actually get your sauce and then mix a can of tomato paste in with it. That'll be enough to thicken it up, so it won't be so runny. And again, when you're eating a pizza, I think we all like that. You really want that kind of tomatoey flavour. So this also equally works well with pesto. So you can put pesto on it, as does the focaccia, where you're putting your vegetables on. Instead of seasoning it, you can just put some pesto underneath and then do your vegetables that way. So we just want to make sure that we have a nice coating of sauce, and that'll be fine. So we'll bake this for 12 minutes, take it out, and then we'll add some more sauce and put on our cheese. This is my pizza dough after 12 minutes, and what I'm going to do now is, you can see that it's pretty much baked, but it would still need a couple of more minutes. So I'm going to get a nice covering of tomato sauce. And if you like it a little bit thicker, as I said, a little bit of tomato paste goes a long way. So that's nice and tomatoey. And then just add your cheese. So when I'm doing this, I will turn my oven up to 500, or as high as it will go when I take this out. So when I go to put it back in, your base will essentially be perfect, and it's just a matter of melting the cheese. And when I'm doing other toppings on this, what I do is a light sprinkling of cheese first, put on my toppings, and then I finish it off with a bit more cheese. And sometimes if I go cheesy, I'll add in a little bit of Parmesan, and I'll use some of those little mozzarella balls as well. They work lovely with that if you're a cheese pizza fan. There we go. So that's enough, because when that melts, it will cover the whole surface. So back into the oven. This will take anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. So just keep an eye on it. This is our focaccia with our vegetables on top. You can see a little bit charred on the top, but that's fine. Nicely well risen. You can just brush it away from the sides. Actually, one of the things, cherry tomatoes, fantastic with this. See, take it out. It's absorbed all the oil. And this is there's a lot of eating in this. For a lot of our regulars here, a vegetarian's dream, whatever they want to put on it, and basically it's a full meal ready to go. So now we have our pizza. So our pizza, tip it out, and our topped focaccia. So this is one batch of dough. So, you know what I mean, there's a lot of eating in that. We've easily fed, 10 people with that amount of focaccia. If they're teenage boys, probably 4, but, it's all relative. Hello, television land. Okay, so this is our focaccia we've topped with vegetables. So, with a sharp, serrated edge blade, you can just cut them. You see, you've got lovely risen dough there. You see a little bit of steam rising off it. Delicious. And I will eat the olive. And just wanna cut it through. Then there you go. You get nice soft dough, cheese, beautiful crunch. And again, you can go with any toppings you want. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that recipe, and if you have any ideas for recipes that you'd like to see, put them in the comments below. We're always looking for new ideas, and we're always looking to do a bit of experimenting with our focaccia. And thanks for watching. Subscribe.